Now, Taste Holdings owns a whole bunch of franchises, amongst them St. Elmo's Pizza and the brand you see behind me, Scooters. These are soon going to die an ignominious death. And that's because Taste Holdings has secured a 30-year deal with the world's biggest pizza business, Domino's, to bring the franchise to South Africa. Domino's will replace Scooters, it will replace St. Elmo's, and will challenge Debonairs, which is the market leader in the QSR space, for pizza. Today, on Tonight with Bruce Whitfield, I am going to be joining Carlo Gonzaga, the chief executive of Taste Holdings, and he is going to make me my very own bespoke pizza. Morning, Carlo.
Bruce, how are you doing?
Yeah, very good. Thanks for joining us on Tonight. I want to talk about Domino's, and I
Sure.
want to talk about the fact that they're coming to South Africa, you're bringing them here.
Yeah.
But first and most importantly, I want to see whether or not you can actually still make pizza. Because you must have started the Scooters brand, when you were 12? How old were you?
Well, a bit younger than that, 26.
Okay.
And I certainly could make pizza faster then than I can make it now.
Well, show me. Bring
but
me,
I'll give it a whirl.
Because in the olden days, I mean, you used to have guys who would stand and take the dough and would toss the dough up in the air
Sure.
and make a bit of a show of it. This looks like cheating.
No, so we make dough fresh in the stores here every day, and we roll a base through a mechanical dough roller, so we don't do the dough tossing. Interesting, Domino's does do that. So we're really looking forward to bringing what they would term hand-tossed pizza. So they do it all by hand.
What the hell is the difference between a hand-tossed pizza and one that's been rolled by machine?
Look, in the end, it's probably quicker than a machine, believe it or not, using hand-tossed. When you really get the gist of it, it's a lot quicker. You have less wastage. And there's a certain romance to artisanal hand-tossed or handmade product.
I mean, it's quite clever though, because that disguises the mechanical process in the background, because you're going to be building a dough factory, a specific dough factory to manufacture the dough to distribute to the outlets into the future, because that's the way Domino's does it. It's the end of the store-made dough, but you'll add a little bit of romance with a bit of tossing.
It's exactly the case. So Domino's around the world, 11,000 units. Their dough all gets made centrally, and they do it for two reasons. Number one is to obviously build labor efficiency in, but the other one is consistency. Dough is sort of a living product, so you want to have less points of failure if you can. So it's still fresh, it's not frozen, and we'll deliver dough to the stores twice a week, fresh.
Let's see if you can do two things at once. I don't know,
Sure.
Can you talk and make pizza? I'd
can
like you to
try.
make me pizza. I've got a choice here of about 15 or 16 different ingredients, maybe more.
Yeah.
You give me a tomato base, which is lovely.
Yeah, we'll go with the tomato base.
Some of your stores must be busier than others. How quickly does your fastest pizza guy make a pizza?
Look, so we've got something which we call Pizza Olympics, which the fastest pizza makers probably do 3 large pizzas, what I'm making now, in about a minute.
Sheesh,
when they really get going, and then it's about another 6 minutes or so in an oven.
Okay.
And normally we'd be more religious about the portion control than I'm being now.
Okay.
But it's you, so we don't really
No,
mind.
I need more cheese.
Yeah,
Okay,
we see that.
This is bespoke pizza. This is off-menu stuff.
So we'll.
I'd like it
heavy-handed with
garlicky,
the
I'd like it
cheese, a bit
oniony,
of
and I'd
garlic.
like it meaty with
Okay,
a little bit of a
go
bite.
for some meat,
All right.
and I think I can do 2 things at once. So.
All right, very good. So how long did it take you to secure the Domino's deal? Because you based Scooters loosely on Domino's. I mean, when
That's
you
right.
created Scooters, you thought to yourself, Domino's has got the biggest pizza business in the world. I want to be like them. So you've kind of set it up Domino's style, and then bringing them into the country. So when did the discussion with Domino's start?
So that's exactly right. When we built Scooters, we built it on the 39-minute or free delivery promise, which is still unmatched in South Africa. And Domino's was built on 30 minutes.
You missed a spot, sorry.
I missed a spot, sorry about that. And Domino's was built on 30 minutes or free. So when we started Scooters, it was very much based on that type of efficiency and that type of thinking. So the fit really with Domino's is quite an easy fit operationally in the business. The stores are a very similar layout to the store that you're in at the moment. And I think importantly, we've got a culture of fast delivery, which is what's quite difficult to replicate in any conversion, is how do you get that culture of on-time delivery, as we call it. So certainly the idea of Domino's is not a new one to us. And then also something that's not commonly known, we wanted to convert Scooters, or I wanted to, 10 years ago.
Okay.
So I approached Domino's in 2004 and met with them.
Because they've been here already.
Yeah.
Some African American guys came here. We'll swap sides. How's that?
Sure.
Some African American guys came here. I don't like pineapple on pizza. Put it back.
You don't like pineapple?
No, I don't like pineapple.
Oh,
on
yeah,
pizza.
yeah.
If I want fruit, I'll have fruit salad.
Okay. All right.
Hey, have you ever had a difficult customer like this before?
We've had a few. Do you like spicy food?
A little bit of spice.
Okay, a little bit of spice.
So these African American guys came in the 90s. They opened 4 outlets. I think the one that lasted longest was in Caller Drive in Joburg.
Yeah.
But it bombed quite badly. So soon after that, you're talking to Domino's, and they say, no, we've burnt our fingers there. Or what?
No, what actually happened is that they were going to come over here, or they had been here already in the late 90s. I think it was sort of post, new South Africa boom. A lot of brands wanted to come here. The guys tried to manage it from Chicago. It just was never going to work. The reason we ended up not doing a deal in 2004 was just very simply it was the wrong time. We were a much smaller company. We were just growing, and they had just listed on the New York Stock Exchange. So the timing got a bit wrong, but we got quite a way down the line, and the then head of international is the current global CEO. So when we decided to talk to Domino's, it was quite easy because we didn't have to go through the normal channels that we would. Is that enough cheese? I think that'll be enough cheese.
That's enough cheese. It's a heart attack on a piece of dough. That's great.
No, pizza is very healthy for you.
Yeah. You put some garlic on. We need garlic as well. So when did this round of talks start? You spoke to them in 2004. When did this round of discussions happen then?
Actually, Bruce, it happened quite quickly this time around because we knew the guys. And we've decided already that in Taste that licensing brands is something that we want to do.
Okay, so the pizza's done, is it?
This is it. This is done.
Garlic. We need some garlic.
You need some garlic. Okay, let's get some garlic going.
Let's have some garlic.
There we go.
Let's have some garlic.
Oh, yeah,
Would I be fired?
No, you wouldn't be. Our franchisee may have a heart attack with his stock control.
Oh, absolutely. Sorry, franchisee. There we go. Make it tasty. So what we've done now is we placed it on this runner, and it's going to take 6 minutes.
It takes about 6 minutes to go through and be cooked.
Okay, very good. Okay, so the talks happen really quickly.
Yeah.
We can ignore that for the time being. We'll catch it on the other side before it hits the floor. The talks happen really quickly. They've signed you up, and they've given you a 30-year master franchise deal. Now, this has got to be the biggest shape-shifting moment in the life then of Taste Holdings, which is the holding company of scooters.
Yeah. So, and there's 2 things that are important here. The one is we obviously now decided for the first time to license a brand. Before we've always owned the brands. So we essentially pay Domino's a royalty every month for the use of the Domino's brand.
A little bit like, and forgive me, what Cyril Ramaphosa is doing with McDonald's. He's become the master franchisee in South Africa for McDonald's. Right. He pays a royalty per burger or whatever it might be to McDonald's. They're happy. They don't have operational concerns. They just let it continue.
It's exactly the case. So it is quite a big shift in Taste's thinking. And I think certainly a sign of future stuff that we want to do. And our thinking really revolves around the fact that if we're going to be in the brand business, we want to own the best brands around.
Okay.
Now, if we're going to have products where the brand is an important part of how a consumer makes up their mind, well, we're thinking we should just have the best brand around.
No, but Domino's has got absolutely no resonance in South Africa. It came here, it failed, it tried. We kind of see it in a New York movie from time to time. But do we have any sort of relationship with Domino's? Because brands are about relationships ultimately.
They are, and I think, so we're assuming there's no brand equity, number one. So we've got to build a brand. But I think that these days, with the amount of travel people do, and generally global brands are quite well known. People may not know what they stand for, but they seem to translate quite adequately into new markets. And in a way, we're future-proofing ourselves because the truth is that you cannot match the investment that these global brands are making in areas like IT, online ordering, new product development, consumer research. They're earning in dollars and they're paying people in dollars. In South Africa, for us to match that level of investment, particularly where we see the future around online ordering going and the impact that generally technology has in running a business. It's a lot more than just making pizza. We'd rather be part of a business that's got the scale to leverage that across multiple markets, and we get the learnings from that.
Okay, so here we got, when does the first Domino's Pizza outlet open in South Africa? When does the first store conversion happen?
So we're planning, we've got to do a couple of things. We're going to set up the central dough production facility you referred to, and we're going to open some company stores for the first time. We're going to own some corporate stores, and we'll do that during this calendar year before December.
Does that allow you to make the mistakes so that your franchisees don't have to make them for you?
To be honest, we also want to own company stores. We did in our jewelry business already.
Yes,
and we think that we become a better franchisor for owning some corporate stores.
So you understand the trials, the tribulations, the difficulties, the supply chain problems, all of that.
And more importantly, when we make decisions, we make them taking into account the profitability of the units. So we'll have those up before the end of this calendar year. And then the conversions...
How many?
We probably have about 6 or 7.
Where's the first one?
We can't tell you that.
Oh, come on.
No, but they'll be in Joburg.
They'll be in
We'll
Joburg.
start in Joburg.
Have you got your sites tied up? Because you don't want Kevin Hedderwick watching this, of course, and then going to put a Debonairs next door.
I don't think they bother about us.
Not well, and they don't bother about you. Is that really your feeling about that famous brands isn't too concerned about
Look,
taste?
obviously our brands compete. I mean, at individual level, this store competes with any competitor brands around here. So when we certainly do watch each other's brands. At corporate level, honestly, I think whatever competition there is a little misguided because at corporate level we don't compete for customers.
But you want them to be ignoring you for as long as possible because you'll have 6 by the end of this year, corporate-owned stores. Within 3 years, you could easily have converted all of your Scooters and St Elmo stores, which gives you, 150 potentially within 3 years?
And we want to roll out another 100 odd in 5 years.
Okay, so 250 stores within 5 years.
That's the plan.
Which gives you a very competitive footprint to a Debonairs, for example.
Look, we think it does. I mean, in the long run, we think that we've got an aim to be the leading pizza delivery brand. So the competitors, Debonairs certainly competes in a couple of other areas. They've got non-delivery units, and we've always seen ourselves as a delivery business, and we're going to stick with that. And that's why, of the brands we could have partnered with that are global brands, Domino's fits the bill better for us because we just think it's easier in a multi-branded business like Taste to have simple formats.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too much that can go wrong, or is there, in this process? You take a base, you put some ingredients on it, you pop it in an oven, 6 minutes later, out pops a piping hot pizza on the other side, you pop it into a box, slice it into pieces, give it to a man wearing a helmet, and as long as he doesn't get lost...
Just within what you've said, there's about 20 different points of failure that do happen every Friday night.
Yeah.
Certainly keeping up with customers' expectations is where things go wrong. But online ordering is going to change all that. We're pretty sure of that when that happens. But the process, we do try and keep it as simple as possible because it really is about efficiency and consistency for customers.
Now, are you sure that pizza's not going to pop out the other side? Because I need to have a quick look at it. It's almost done.
It's almost done.
This oven is interesting because the wood-fired idea, I'd love to see a brick-built oven with logs smoking away and burning in the background. This takes some of the romance out of pizza, doesn't it?
Look, so I'd agree with you about romance. You certainly can't go to Italy and not find a wood-fired oven. You're going to look for that. But we've done blind taste testing, and believe it or not, consumers can't tell the difference between wood-fired and electric and pizzas cooked in an electric oven. We do this for efficiency.
How many pizzas can this do in an hour?
This single one does about 250 to 300 an hour.
And is it ever stretched to that sort of level?
Yeah. We've got stores that have got 3 of these on top of each other.
So you're doing 1,000 pizzas an hour in some stores?
Certainly in peak hours, depending on where the store is located, and it's typically a Friday between 5 and 8. That's exactly what happens. Okay. And we've seen stores that have got the equivalent of 6 of these ovens because they're just slightly bigger and 3 of them.
Yeah. Do we need to move closer to the exit? Because I would hate to have this pizza come to a sticky end on the floor. And it's done.
It's done.
Yeah, it's remarkable. Pop it in the box. I want to see whether or not you can cut a pizza as well.
There we go. Now that I can safely do.
Magnificently done.
And there we go.
Excellent. Box it all up. Do you remember how to fold the boxes?
I do. We actually designed this box ourselves, which uses the least paper that we could find. And there you go.
Very neat. Let's take it back to the test kitchen and see whether or not your recipe meets expectations. I need to let it cool down because
it's going to be very hot.
The last thing I want to do on television. There's the finished product. It's magnificent. All the ingredients have come together beautifully. It's absolutely perfect.
I will warn you with the amount of garlic you put on. But I do hope you don't have other engagements today.
Well, I most certainly might not. So I'm going to have a little piece of pizza. Would you like a taste of our pizza? It's going to burn. It's going to burn. No. There's nothing dignified about eating pizza out of a box on television. Thank you to the elves. Which brings us, I wish you luck with it, Carlo.
Thank you.
Who put all that garlic on that pizza? That is diabolical.
I will take that up. And you said it was a simple process.
Yes, okay, so that's one of the 20 failings. Carlo Gonzaga, the Chief Executive Officer of Taste Holdings, taking the Scooters pizza business, I hope I don't have any cheese on my chin, and converting it over the next 5 years, 150 to 250 stores in the next 5 years, which has got to be a competitive footprint when it comes to a Debonairs. Kevin Hedderwick, I hope you're watching your back. This has been Tonight. I am Bruce Whitfield. He is Carlo Gonzaga. Thank you for a delicious, slightly garlicky pizza. There'll be more tonight tomorrow. Till then, good night.